6 starts now.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Cash Matlock. One person is dead after a shooting in Choctaw County last night. Now, Choctaw County Sheriff's deputies say they responded to a missing persons call around 9 o'clock. When they arrived at the residence on Seaward Road, they discovered the body of a 38-year-old African-American male. Coroner Keith Coleman says the victim suffered multiple gunshot wounds. The victim's body was transported to Pearl for an autopsy. MBI, the Choctaw County Sheriff's Department, and the Choctaw County Coroner are investigating the incident. As of right now, there is no suspect in custody. We're going to have more information on this as it becomes available. The Boonville Police Department is asking for your help in identifying a person of interest. The department took to their Facebook page to post this picture of a woman who appears to be exiting a store. Police say the person is wanted for questioning in an ongoing investigation. If you know who this person is, please contact the Boonville Police Department. One person was transported to the hospital after a single car crash in Oktibbeha County. Oktibbeha County Fire Coordinator Cook Rosenhan says first responders arrived to the scene on West Point Road around 8:45 this morning. Rosenhan says the driver was picked up by someone passing by and transported to OCH Regional Medical Center before emergency officials arrived on the scene. He says it appears the car was traveling west when the driver lost control, crashing into the post of an iron gate and flipping over. The accident happened just west of Camps Airport Road. The condition of that driver is unknown at this time, and the incident is under investigation. Well, the search for a missing man in the Golden Triangle continues. 31-year-old Corey Bond was last seen leaving an apartment on Stark Road on November 12th. Starkville police say Bond's last known location was on Highway 82 East, heading towards Columbus or West Alabama. He's believed to be traveling in this Nissan car. SPD tells WCBI it is still actively investigating this missing persons case and receiving support from other agencies. If you know where Bond is, call Starkville Police. That number is 662-323-4131.
Well, that cold front that brought us all that rain yesterday has finally pushed through the area and off to our east, but that means much colder air compared to what we're used to is starting to rush in, and winds are actually gusting up to 20 miles an hour behind the front. We're 48 right now in Columbus, but it's feeling cooler than that thanks to those gusty winds out there. And today, unfortunately, the cold front did not sweep out all these clouds. Check it out. Most everybody stayed completely cloudy all through the day today, and there have been some areas of drizzle. I think the good news is we do see those clouds break up just a little bit, but that allows the temperatures to drop down to the 30s tonight. I've got that full update coming up in just a few minutes. Cash.
All right, thank you, Trevor. Well, in national news, President Trump is daring Democrats to draft articles of impeachment against him, saying he wants to go to trial. He downplayed the testimony of more than a dozen witnesses during the House impeachment inquiry over the past 2 weeks. He says the Republican Party has never been more unified, claiming Democrats have no grounds to impeach him. Paula Reed has the latest from the White House.
At a White House event honoring college athletes, President Trump tried to appear upbeat about this week's impeachment hearings, despite some bombshell testimony contradicting his denials of a quid pro quo with Ukraine.
I think we had a tremendous week with the hoax, you know, the great hoax. They call it the impeachment hoax.
As a presidential appointee, I followed the directions of the president.
But EU Ambassador Gordon Sondland testified on Wednesday that Mr. Trump was behind the efforts to pressure the Ukrainian president to announce an investigation into former Vice President Joe Biden and his son Hunter. President Trump denied that claim in an interview with Fox and Friends.
Well, that's total nonsense. This guy, Sondland, hardly know him. I've had a couple of conversations with him. I see him hanging around, you know, when I go to Europe.
The president also took issue with top U.S.-Ukrainian diplomat David Holmes, who testified he overheard Ambassador Sondland speaking with the president on a cell phone.
I then heard President Trump ask, so he's going to do the investigation. Ambassador Sondland replied that he's going to do it, adding that President Zelensky will do anything you ask him to do.
I've been watching guys for 40 years make phone calls, and I can't hear when and you could be 2 feet away. I can't hear people making calls. I can't hear the other side.
President Trump continues to claim that Ukraine conspired to hurt his presidential campaign in 2016, a theory that has been debunked.
Don't forget, Ukraine hated me. They were after me in the election. They wanted Hillary Clinton to win.
And CBS News has confirmed that American intelligence officials recently briefed senators that Russia has been engaged in a years-long campaign to frame Ukraine for Moscow's own meddling in the 2016 election.
Outstanding subpoenas for several top officials, including former National Security Advisor John Bolton, are currently tied up in court. Last week during the Mississippi State and Alabama game, a World War II vet was honored. WCBI's Tyler Hull got a chance to sit down with the veteran and has more on the story.
Last Saturday, Fred Baker got the chance of a lifetime. Baker, who is a 98-year-old World War II veteran, is a native here in Columbus, but is a lifelong Alabama fan. Last week, Mississippi State honored and recognized veterans. Baker was one of those veterans.
Yeah, they was going to honor 3 veterans, and 2 of them didn't show up. I was the only one that showed up. And they rolled out a red carpet, and I walked out on the field, and they made an announcement about me being 98 years old and a veteran, and they made a little speech, and I waved at everybody, and I walked back off the field.
But the highlight for Baker was getting to meet Alabama head coach Nick Saban.
Well, I was sitting there, and the team was coming out, going into the locker room, and Coach Saban saw me. He come straight to me and thanked me for my service, and I told him I appreciated that, and I said, I got something for you. I pulled this. I make these pins, and I pulled it out and gave it to him.
Baker says it is an experience he'll never forget. Tyler Hall, WCBI News.
Well, those pins in the video are actually handmade out of wood and deer antlers. Some folks in our area are putting a fresh spin on Thanksgiving dinner. We'll tell you more after the break. Stay with us. Thanksgiving, a time for family and your favorite home-cooked meals. But some people don't have enough to go around. That's why one Oxford organization is making sure these families have a fresh meal on the table. Our DeAndrea Turner is in the studio and has more on that story.
That's right, Cash. The Harvest Angel Project is an annual event, and every year they put a fresh spin on Thanksgiving.
Every bag has at least a serving of kale. We have carrots, a pack of eggs.
All for local families in need this Thanksgiving.
Hey man, would you like a Thanksgiving basket?
While the food pantry provides the main course like turkey, the Oxford Community Market's Harvest Angel Project provides families with loads of fresh produce for the Thanksgiving table.
But you don't really see a lot of fresh produce in the pantry all the time, and it's definitely not enough to create an entire meal for. So I think it's really cool that we can get all these bags together for them to be able to, especially around Thanksgiving time, to have a full meal for their family.
Coordinator Betsy Chapman says the entire community gets involved in the effort.
We've been very successful. Our customers have been very supportive in making donations so that we can purchase the local food from our farmers. So it's helping both people in need, the clients at the pantry, and our farmers who are heading into a slow season.
The joy of sharing meals with customers is volunteer Jamie Dufault's favorite part about Harvest Angel boxes.
People I've given baskets to, how happy they were. They're like, oh yeah, let me have a basket.
Chapman says this project is important because everyone needs a hearty meal this holiday season.
Everybody deserves access to the high quality, fresh, nutritious food that we sell here at the farmers market. And so we want to do our part to make sure that everybody gets some.
They had over 70 bags of locally grown produce to give out for this Harvest Angels project. This project has been going on for 3 years.
Well, after more than a year of working and planning, the city of Amory is now officially a stop on the Mississippi Blues Trail. WCBI's Chad Groening has more.
They gathered at Amory's historic Vinegar Bend to celebrate the unveiling of the marker on the site that has now officially been dubbed Vinegar Bend Blues Alley. It signifies the newest stop on the Mississippi Blues Trail. It documents an historic journey through Mississippi for travelers and blues fans to learn about the birth of blues in the Magnolia State.
We were so excited that we were able to bring something to Amory that was going to be something that locals would be proud of, and that people could come and visit our town and see, what our small town has to offer right here downtown on Main Street.
We're very blessed as Mississippians to have a genre of music that sprouted from our state, sprouted under bad circumstances, but it sprouted from our state nonetheless, and it forced other genres into being. And we're blessed to be a part of that to be part of our heritage, a very rich musical heritage. And we're blessed as residents of Amory to play a part in that.
Vinegar Bend Blues Alley has become an integral part of downtown Amory, and with the erection of this plaque, it will be even more so. But none of this would have happened if it hadn't been for a fire.
There was another owner that owned this building here, and a couple of years ago the building burned, and so I decided that I would buy this lot, and I bought the building next door over here also because we needed that area to complete our park. Over a year ago, I had heard that there were several people trying to get the blues marker in Amory, and it kind of fizzled out. So I decided that I wanted to take that project on because I wanted our park here to have something special in it.
And the unveiling of this marker was a very special moment for Dylan McKinney of Amory, who has been singing gospel since he was 4 years old.
Everybody like to dance. They like to have fun or whatever, and some people, the blues get them relax their mind. They put joy down in them.
And the blues have an international following. Shell Westerlund of Amory is originally from Sweden.
I grew up, in the era of soul music. Sam and Dave and Wilson Pickett and all these guys. But then I wanted to find the roots for it. So I went deeply into the blues, and ever since I've been a blues man.
And Mississippi's Miss Hospitality, Casey Pearson, summed things up.
And as we rock and roll along, we'll come across a blues crossroads and hear jazz, gospel, country, and more. Your ears will experience firsthand the birthplace of America's music.
Chad Groening, WCBI News, Amory.
Well, organizers say the Blues Trail is the biggest tourist attraction in Mississippi, and Amory is now a part of it.
Well, we have a little area of drizzle that has unfortunately found the junction at Mississippi State, and with these winds gusting at 10 miles an hour, it's making for not a fun time out there at Davis Wade Stadium, but more rain could be on the way, and that could impact your holiday travel plans. You don't want to miss that full forecast coming up right after this.
Your WCBI First Alert AccuWeather forecast with meteorologist Trevor Burchett.
These clouds have just been really pesky all through the day today, and you can see this on the satellite. There they are across northeastern Mississippi and West Alabama. These are all behind that cold front that came through yesterday, bringing us all that rain. Luckily, that pushed most of the rain out of here, leaving us with just some cloud cover, but there are some areas of patchy drizzle across the area as we get into the evening hours, and one of those spots has found the junction at Mississippi State University, unfortunately, where thousands of people are at for the game that kicks off here in just a few minutes. So a little bit of drizzle out there right now, and unfortunately, with as cold as it is not feeling too fun out there right now. It's 43 right now on campus at Mississippi State. We're 48 here in Columbus, 46 in Tupelo, 44 a little chillier in Coffeyville, and 43 in Oxford. But as I mentioned, these winds are gusting at a good little clip. 17 is the last wind gust in Starkville, 21 in West Point, and we have definitely been gusting up to over 20 miles an hour here in Columbus. So hang on to your hats and definitely grab an extra jacket as you're heading out the door tonight. Much cooler tonight than we were last night. We're going to get down into the mid-30s, maybe some sprinkles as we've been seeing, but most of us are going to stay dry, and these clouds are going to continue to clear on out of here, which is going to allow us to get a lot cooler overnight tonight. Tomorrow looking absolutely fantastic, back up into those mid and upper 50s, plenty of blue sunny skies. Monday, basically the same story, maybe a little bit more in the way of cloud cover, but still lots of blue skies. You can see up into the low 60s there. Tuesday's when the trouble starts. We've got those rain showers moving in. We'll be up to 70 but that just starts a week of what could be a good little bit of rainfall. So Tuesday, you see some rainfall there, and that's going to last through the day on Tuesday, off and on showers. This cold front, the first of which comes through, maybe some leftover showers on Wednesday, but I think most of Wednesday is going to be dry. The good news is once that cold front pushes on out of here, Thursday, Turkey Day, looking mostly dry, and for any late night Thanksgiving or morning Black Friday shopping, you're looking good there too. Mostly dry, but notice our next cold front. That's going to bring us more in the way of rain chances for Saturday. So keep that in mind. If you're booking anything for next weekend, we are looking at the chance for some rain showers on Saturday. So we'll call it a 50% chance for Tuesday, down to 40 for Wednesday. I think most of that's going to be in the morning. Thanksgiving and Black Friday both looking decent, maybe a few sprinkles out there. And then back to the 60s for Friday and Saturday. Rain chances return once again for the weekend.
So I know it's kind of a small chance, but the soothing sounds of rain while I'm in a turkey coma.
Yeah.
That actually
some
sounds
good
to
sleeping
me.
weather for Thanksgiving afternoon, I guess.
Well, sports is coming up next. Courtney, what do you have in store for us?
Guys, the matchup between Ole Miss and 16th ranked Memphis had me asking the question, is it November or is it actually March? A huge road test for the Rebels this afternoon. Full recap when we come back.
Your WCBI Sports with Courtney Robb.
Game number 5 of the season for Ole Miss is the first real test that the Rebels have faced this season. A top 25 matchup on the road against 16th ranked Memphis. Luckily for the Rebels, the team would face the Tigers without star freshman center James Wiseman. But unlucky for the Rebels, Memphis forwards Precious Achua and DJ Jeffries combining for 48 of the Tigers' 87 total points. Let's get to Memphis. The first half, and early in the first half, nonetheless, guard Breein Tyree with the mid-range J. Ole Miss taking a 5-2 lead from there. 12 to go in the first. Ole Miss with a 14-10 lead, and the dunk by Memphis forward DJ Jeffries. Ole Miss still up 14-12 midway through the first. The lob pass to Precious Achua. The dunk with the finish. Ole Miss, they're cutting that lead, still in the lead 23-22 before the half. Forward Blake Hinson out on the wing knocks down the three-point shot. So Ole Miss leading 26-22. Second half, Rebels with the ball. Achua with the steal and the one-hand slam. Memphis goes up 49-40, and Ole Miss trying to come back from there. Hinson going to pull up with the mid-range J. 77-71, Memphis still rocking that lead, and Schuler from behind the arc pulls up, knocks the three-pointer down, cutting that Memphis lead 83-78 with the clock winding down in the second. Guard Breein Tyree taking this one out in transition, cuts right to the rim. The dunk for Tyree. It's 84-82 Ole Miss, with the Rebels losing an absolute heartbreaker. A one-point game against 16th ranked Memphis, 87-86 your final. Tyree leading the way with 24 points. The Rebels transition defense, the issue, they allowed 20 points off the fast break for the Tigers. Here's Ole Miss head coach Kermit Davis after the game.
And Breein, these guys got great hearts, and I knew we'd keep battling and playing, and we did. We fought it right at the end till a one-possession game, and it was close. I mean, to whether that's the chance you take. We all in that dilemma, you know, when you foul like that, and I agree with the decision they made to try to foul up 3, but it was kind of a bang-bang play when Breein went up to shoot it. So we did. We fought it back to get right into a one-possession game, so proud of them.
The Alabama Crimson Tide facing its first test since losing starting quarterback Tua Tagovailoa to a hip injury a week ago, which means for the Tide, it's time to send in backup QB Mac Jones to be the Alabama starter. All eyes would be on Jones to see how he'd perform in the pre-Iron Bowl tune-up game, with no chance of Tagovailoa returning for the remainder of the season. Let's get to Tuscaloosa. Tagovailoa receiving a standing ovation before the start of the game. Alabama hosting Western Carolina. First quarter, 9:12 to go. Bama up by 3. Quarterback Mac Jones finds wide receiver Devontae Smith to the right. 57 yards into the end zone, folks. That's a touchdown for the Crimson Tide. They go up 10-0 from there. The clock winding down in the first. Catamounts on offense. Quarterback Tyree Adams, the play action fake, throws over the middle, but tipped and picked, ladies and gentlemen. That's Xavier McKinney, the safety for the Crimson Tide, on the 81-yard return for the pick six. Bama now takes a 17-0 lead. And then midway through the second quarter, Jones drops back, finds running back Najee Harris on the run, bulldozes his way into the end zone. A 12-yard touchdown for Harris gives Alabama a 30-point lead for the Crimson Tide. And without Tagovailoa, the Crimson Tide come away with the 66-3 victory against West Carolina. Bama, you just had to do it to them, didn't you? Mac Jones finishing 10 for 12 for 275 yards and 3 touchdowns. That's it for sports. We'll have more for you when we come back. Stay with us.
Got a couple of nice days coming up for Sunday and Monday, but rain chances return. Best chance on Tuesday. Turkey Day looking good, aside from maybe a few sprinkles out there. More rain next weekend.
Like I said, I'm kind of excited for a possibility of rain on Thanksgiving.
Hopefully it'll just rain on your house. If it'll just rain on your house.
No rain on the Egg Bowl.
Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.